Mr. Jones, my name is Philippe from Taji Mag. How are you doing, sir?
What's up, Felipe? It's a pleasure to meet you, brother. Thanks for having me.
All right, so you get to play Michael Jackson's bodyguard, Mr. Bill Bray. All right. So, what was the first thing you learned about him that made you think, wow, that's more to this person than we all thought?
Well, that's a great question, man. I didn't really, I was unfamiliar with who Bill Bray was in such depth before I signed on to do this thing. I learned that he was an ex-LAPD cop, and he was very respected, in these streets, like with the whole Beat It music video and calling all the actual gang members to, like, Bill was instrumental in making that happen, and he was very respected in the streets, as they say. And everybody that I met along the way that knew Bill Bray and knew these two men and knew their rapport, Michael and Bill, they said no, they were very close and they were very jokey with each other and played pranks on each other. But Bill Bray did not play about Michael, and I just tried to cultivate that and cultivate a safe space for both Jafar and Michael. You know what I mean?
Did you see like how difficult it may be for him to like managing protecting Michael, but also make sure that he has a healthy, mental space and comfortability with Mr. Bray?
Yeah, I think that was part of, at least in my mind, in building the character and trying to honor the man, that was part of the assignment, right? Yes, Joe says to him, protect him with your life or whatever. And I think he took that to heart and he saw something special in Michael and knowing Michael the man, but also the family and his life. This man was an international icon from the time he was 8, 9, 10 years old through the rest of his life. And I think, at least I like to believe that Bill Bray just wanted to cultivate a safe space where Michael Jackson could just be himself. He didn't have to be on. He didn't have to be a dancer, a writer, an entertainer. He didn't have to be moonwalking. He didn't have to be a son or a brother. He could just be himself in all of his glory and joy, and also his fears and insecurities and everything in between.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely nailed it in the film where he has that look like, oh, this guy especially needs some extra protection, not just
Yeah.
physically, but emotionally,
Right.
mentally.
That's exactly
Uh,
right. Yeah.
you capture that, I feel like, in the films,
Thank you,
especially
sir.
when you have that scene where it's just Bray and Michael by the cliff and they're talking.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, man, that's something special right there. Something
I
special.
appreciate that. It's one of my favorite scenes. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. For you. In regards to any type of training that you had to do to like clear a room or something like that, did you have to do anything like that preparing for the role or?
I've done that for other roles. I didn't have to do anything like that. I didn't have to do any police training for this role, but it was in talks with Antoine and, like, establishing the character. We talked a lot about what, coming off an elevator, like he'd be scanning the whole crowd, scanning different corners, just to make sure, because people were going crazy for Mike back then. You know what I mean? And Bill had to be on his P's and Q's.
Were you on set some of the moments where they were recreating some of the music videos, and then were you participating? Did you kind of hop in, or what happened?
I was on set for some of it. I wasn't there for many of the on stage performances because I didn't need to be. You know what I mean? If you're not on camera, you don't need to be on set.
Yeah.
But yeah, the don't stop till you get enough and the beat it scene and things like this. Yeah, I was there for that. And I would, I like to shake a leg a little bit. Me and Javon would fool around between takes. But Bill wasn't shaking the legs. You know what I mean? Bill was just making sure Mike was safe.
And then what was your first reaction when you saw Jafar in his embodiment of Michael Jackson?
It was uncanny, bro, because, like, we would be getting ready in the makeup trailer next to each other, but there would be this sort of little curtain drawn, so I couldn't really see what they were up to in there. And we would, be talking to each other, good morning, all these other things, but I wouldn't see him until he stepped on set in all of his Michael Jackson glory. And we'd still talk. I've got all this Bill Bray on, I've got the wig and the hat and the costume. I'm an older man, but when you're up close with someone, you kind of see through that and through the makeup, through the wigs. But when they would call action and he would turn it on and he biting the lip and the way he would hold his fingers and the way his gait would move his feet, it was incredible to watch someone who had never acted before. And I've been acting my whole life, but to watch someone who had never acted before just turn it on like that and really step into these shoes, I'm blown away. I'm inspired by this kid, man. I mean, he's not a kid, by this man. This brother is really talented.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things I wanted to ask you about was how did you think Bray, at least for this moment in the film, how did he determine, okay, I need to let Joe know, hey, he's a man now. I know you told me to protect me with his life, and you hired me, but what he says goes now. Like, what do you
I
think is going on?
I think it was a combination of things. It was a combination of taking Joe at his word and doing like living up to that assignment, protecting his life. This is me protecting him. And
Mhm.
sometimes I got to protect him from these fans. Sometimes I got to protect him from himself. And right now I'm protecting him from you, you know? So it was a combination of that, but also like in the scenes leading up to that, after that moment on the cliff, there's, or the moment in the hospital rather, there's a lot of nonverbal communication going on between Michael and Bill, Jafar and myself, you know, through the mirror. He's like, you got this, bro. You know, he's like, I'm gonna do this thing, you know, whatever it is, whatever the lines that I wrote in my head, there's because there were no lines written. So
Yeah.
I think it was just like being proud of Michael and watching him step into himself, fully embrace his creative and personal independence, but
Mhm.
also taking the assignment very seriously. Like I said, I'm protecting him from the fans, from himself, and in this moment from you, Joe Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My last question, what do you think you can take away from this opportunity into your other future projects? So you're a busy guy. So,
Yeah, well, you know, I'd like to work with Graham again. I'd like to work with Antoine again, and I'd love to work with Jafar again. Maybe me and Jafar could be, you know, in a buddy cop movie or something. I don't know, you know what I mean? But I love what I do, and I just want to keep working, brother. That's at the end of the day, that's my life's goal.
and you are. Oh, quick question.
Please.
Which outfit have you worn for the different premieres do you like the best?
I gotta say, I love my stylist, who what he did for me in LA. But the outfit that I wore in Germany was, I'm really proud of that, man. I'm really proud of how it turned out and the reception that it's getting.
Okay. All right, man. Well, really appreciate it, man. You did a lot of pulling, a lot of acting in that without any
Thank
verbal.
you, brother.
I
I
appreciate it.
appreciate you, my man.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All right.